All right, qualifying just a few seconds from ending. All right, the drivers are gridding up. It's time to go racing, folks. Up front will be Jeremy Root and AJ Godsey. Matt Bear and Greg McDaniel on the second row. Brandon Springer, Gerald Thanospool on the third row. Eric Stoy and James Harris on the fourth row. Scotty Tuhati and Jared Heasley rounding out the top 10. Kevin Reed and Jason Rome, 11th and 12th. 13th is Jeff Hinkle. Thomas Myers, a.k.a. Bo Ross, is 14th. Bill Percy is 15th. Harley Barletta, 16th. Richie West and Brian Oshinska, 17th and 18th. Nicole, that's what she said, Creasel and Mark Dantuma, 19th and 20th. Jody Ogden, 21st. Larry Ashby, 22nd. That is your field for the race tonight. 1 mile, just over a 1 mile track. 1.02 miles. 10 to 11 degrees of banking in turns 1 and 2. 8 to 9 in turns 3 and 4. Look for a lot of cars to get loose. A lot the first 5 laps coming out of turn 4. Things will get a bit exciting here. If you've got a favorite driver, as Becky does, drop in the chat, cheer them on, let us know you're watching. Pace car is in. Barney the flag man waves the green flag. They're underway. AJ Godsey and Jeremy Root drag racing down into turn number 1. Now, how many of them cut the infield on the first lap? The tires still have to come up to temperature. Jeremy Root drops to the bottom. He's going to try and clear AJ Godsey through 3. And he gets him into 3. They're still side by side, Greg McDaniel and Matt Bear. That is for 3rd. Greg comes out on top. Matt Bear slips back to 4th. Brandon Springer now up to 5th. And Scott and Kevin side by side. Scott drops down to the infield. Kevin stays up top. They come out. Will Scott come out? Scott does come out just ahead of Kevin Reed. Bill Percy looking to make up for some bad luck at Vegas here. Had a good run last night in the trucks, hoping to make something happen again here tonight. Jody Ogden at the back of the field with Larry Ashby. Those are 2 of the drivers that did not qualify. The other one is Mark Dantuma, who is now up to 19. But up front, it is still Jeremy Root in the lead. AJ Godsey holding on to 2nd, and while they're all kind of packed up, let's find somebody to ride along with. Scott seems like a good option, so when he comes out of turn 4, we'll hop in the car with Scott and see how he's doing side by side with Kevin Reed here. Coming out of turn 4, you got to be careful on the throttle. The back end will try and break around. Start finish line. Down into turn number 1, all over the back bumper of the Finelli Ironworks car of Kevin Reed. Scott choosing to cut the dog leg just a little bit. Some drivers take it a little bit more extreme, depends on the situation. Stays right on the back bumper. Easy back onto the throttle and gets around the lap. Scott did that lap in 27.86 seconds. Jeremy Root, AJ Godsey still nose to tail. This is a battle we have seen off and on so far this season. These 2 racing for wins, for position, all the time. Greg McDaniel came out of the Truck Series after the last season. He has been a top contender. He was the top contender in the Truck Series. He again is going to be a top contender in the Cup cars. Matt Bear in 4th. Coming out of XCal Racing and definitely has a lot of speed here tonight. Brandon Springer in 5th, Eric Stoy in 6th, Gerald Thanospool in 7th, and from 7th on back, it is still a battle as here comes Harley Barletta underneath Jared Heasley into turn 1. Jared has to drift up a little bit off of turn 2. They stay up above the yellow line this time. A lot of guys choosing to stay up top early, save some tires as we've got a interesting battle going on. James Harris currently in 7th has Kevin Reed and Gerald Poole all over the back bumper. And here comes Scott. Power move down to the inside. Scott had drifted back a couple of spots after the battle with Kevin Reed. He's got his momentum again. Almost 3 wide down the back straightaway. He gets the nose in on Gerald this time. A little bobble and Harley Barletta gets a run up off of turn 4. Scott closes the door. This is probably 5th to 10th. It's probably where all the battles are going to happen tonight. Right now, 5th place Brandon Springer, though, is 2 seconds behind 4th place Matt Bear and about a second ahead of Eric Stoy. James Harris in 7th, starting to gain on Eric, but here comes Kevin Reed. He is on a mission here tonight. And let's check quickly on the guys that did not qualify. Mark Dantuma currently in 19th. Larry Ashby in 20th, Nicole Creasel 21st, and 22nd is Jody Ogden. As mentioned, and Nicole has a problem off of down the back straightaway. Looked like she might have gotten a little bit loose there. Jeremy Root now starting to pull away just a little bit from AJ Gotze. Greg McDaniel in 3rd. Matt Bear is still 4th. Brandon Springer 5th. 12 laps in. And expect, once these guys spread out a little bit, expect this thing to go green for a long period of time. As usually, if you don't have a caution here in the first few laps, it'll stay green for long periods of time. However, with this back straightaway, with the cut through the dog leg, once green flag pit stops begin, things will get very interesting on the back straightaway. And Bill Percy actually pulled off a genius move last night. He stayed out. He was one of the last ones to hit pit road. And because of that, an incident happened that brought the caution out, and he was in the catbird seat. So expect to see fuel strategy play out a lot here tonight. Jeremy Root still up in the lead. And AJ Gotze, this is something we've seen at these tracks that are tough on tires. Jeremy Root pulls away the first half of the run. AJ Gotze seems to have a little bit better long run speed and starts reeling them in. But Greg McDaniel is actually reeling both of them in right now. Looking to see who the biggest mover of the race so far. Harley Barletta in the 81 car, currently tied for 2nd in points. He is running 9th right now. He started in 16th. He's moved up to 9th. Kevin Reed now up to 8th. And James Harris seems to be, he was marching towards the front earlier in the Cobra Kai car. Now seems to have stagnated. He's not picking up any spots, and Kevin Reed's right there to the back bumper, and Eric Stoy right there as well. Kevin Reed, Harley Barletta, both extremely good at saving the tires, especially on these flat tracks. Kevin Reed actually very exceptional on these flatter tracks. And here we go. James Harris now looking to the inside. He's trying to get a run on Eric Stoy. Out of turn 4. It looks like James might clear him. Just barely jumps up to the high side and opened the door just enough for Kevin Reed to send it in. Eric Stoy going to lose a couple of positions here. Will Harley Barletta get the run by? Eric said he just wanted to get through this race. He'd worry about the points after tonight because he does not like this track at all. Side by side down the front straightaway, Eric Stoy is fighting back on the high side. Out front, Jeremy Root has opened up to about 0.8 of a second, but that keeps close. It keeps varying from about 0.6 to about 0.8 of a second, depending on the lap, just depending on who gets a better run for a couple of laps. "21 laps into the race. Expect to start seeing pit stops between lap 35 and 40. And a lot of drivers really not gaining or losing any ground here. Like we said, the biggest mover so far has been Harley Barletta in the 81 car. Kevin Reed still trying to get by Eric Stoy. Little drift up. He gets a big wiggle out of turn 2. Manages to hold it, drops to the apron. Gerald Poole staying right there with him. Eric Stoy running that middle line, not giving Kevin any room to get momentum off the turn. Smart driving. And Kevin Reed's going to try it again. Jeremy Root's lead now down to about 0.7 of a second. Was briefly 0.6. At the line, it's going to be about 3/4 of a second. And with this race staying green this long, lap traffic will come into play for the leader. In fact, Nicole can see the leader in her mirror at this point. Larry Ashby just a little bit ahead. And Jeremy Root definitely sees Nicole ahead. Lap traffic could be a big factor in this race. Not sure what happened to AJ on that last lap, but he lost a lot of ground. It looks like he might have gotten the wall. See if we can get a closer look at the right side of AJ's car. I think he might have gotten the wall out of turn 2. Not seeing anything on the right side of that car. Nope, yeah, there is just a little bit of damage on the right front. Nothing significant. I guess he probably just grazed the wall a little bit, enough to slow him down. These safer barriers sometimes reach out and grab you. Brandon Springer currently in 5th, and looks like the cut through the dog leg is reached a point where it's not helping a ton. Brandon Springer battling with Harley Barletta. Harley Barletta now up to 6th place. And let's do, right before we have to go to pit stops, let's see where everybody runs. All right, Jeremy Root currently in the lead. AJ Godsey in 2nd. Basically the same way they started. AJ way loose off turn 4. Greg McDaniel currently in 3rd, up from 4th. Matt Bear back in 4th place. James Harris now in 5th. Harley Barletta marching his way to the front, started 16th, he is up to 6th. Eric Stoy holding on to 7th. Kevin Reed has been battling Eric Stoy for at least 10 laps now, and they just can't settle this one. Brandon Springer currently running in 9th. Gerald Thanos Poole in 10th. Jared Heasley now in 11th place. Scotty Too Hottie in 12th. Jason Rome currently running 13th. Needs to pick up some positions here to not lose too many points tonight. Thomas Myers, aka Bo Ross, is currently 14th. And not sure if he's going to make it through the race tonight. He was in a lot of pain from his wrestling match last night, so he said he might start and park, or park if he starts hurting too much, so we'll keep an eye on that story. Bill Percy currently in 15th place. Mark Dantuma started 20th, he is up to 16th. Here's a big surprise. Jeff Hinkle, who started in 13th, is now back into 17th. This is usually Jeff's kind of track where you have to save the tires and play a little strategy. This is where Jeff really excels, especially being faster than everybody else in the long run. Richie West, after last week's win at Vegas, looking to pick up some more points here, but currently running in 18th. Jody Ogden started 21st. He is now up to 19th. Larry Ashby currently running in 20th after starting in 22nd. Brian Oshinska had a top 10 finish in the trucks last night because I couldn't get to him to wreck him for 10th, so he finished 10th last night, currently running 21st. Nicole Kriesel is currently running 22nd, hoping for a caution soon so she can get back to the lead lap. Jeremy Root 2.3 seconds ahead of AJ Godsey now. Greg McDaniel losing a little bit of ground on AJ, now 1.6 seconds back. Matt Baer 3.55 seconds as he comes up to, oh my goodness, almost got really close there with Nicole. Nicole's headset issues, we're not sure if, we know she can hear. Unless something changed, she could at least hear people talking, so hopefully Brian Oshinska was going to try and help her with some of the issues, so hopefully that got resolved. James Harris 3 seconds back from Matt. Harley Barletta in 6th, running James Harris down. Nicole dropping to the bottom, letting all the leaders go by. Eric Stoy currently in 7th, still staying pretty close, and it looks like Harley Barletta is about to catch up to James Harris. Now these two will do battle with some of the other drivers here after this one when they hop in the ARCA cars at USA. That ought to be an interesting race as well. AJ Godsey is the first lead lap car. He is on pit road. Lap 37, green flag pit stops appear to be underway. Will Jeremy Root come in this time? They are showing about 1.5 seconds off their lap times from fresh tires. So getting fresh tires will give AJ a bit of an advantage, but he's losing a lot of track position. He's got to have a perfect pit stop. Brian Oshinska moving up, letting the leader by. Nobody else has come to pit road yet. AJ Godsey might be playing a little bit of pit strategy here, trying to save the car just a little bit, have a little bit faster car for a bit, and see how much ground he can make up. Greg McDaniel now in 2nd place, but 5 seconds behind leader Jeremy Root. Jeremy Root has already lapped a couple of cars. And as pit stops go, things will get a lot more chaotic. AJ Godsey is now back out on track, being scored 1 lap down. There you see AJ Godsey's position. He is coming through the kink right now. Jeremy Root right out of turn 4. Looking to see if AJ is closing in yet on. He has gotten past Matt Bear, who is in 3rd place. So now AJ is going to try and run down Greg McDaniel in 2nd as he works to unlap himself here. Meanwhile, Matt Bear in 3rd. Harley Barletta has gotten past James Harris and is now up to 4th. James Harris back to 5th. Kevin Reed in 6th. Eric Stoy in 7th. Expect to start seeing a lot more pit stops. I'm actually surprised with AJ short pitting. I'm surprised we did not see more drivers stop early. Nobody else has been, even the cars that are a lap down have not been to pit road. Here comes AJ Godsey to come around Greg McDaniel. And now all he has to do is run down the leader, Jeremy Root. Let's take a ride with him and you can see, and you saw how quickly he got past. There is Brian Oshinska just ahead. You'll see just how much of a difference these fresh tires make. Caution! Oh, AJ Godsey just... It should put him in position to go to be the wave around car, but that is a bit of a heartbreak for AJ. Let's see what happened. Looks like Bill Percy smacked the wall, came down and got Jeff Hinkle, sends Jeff Hinkle around. Hard hit for both drivers. Let's take a quick look back. Let's see. I think looks like Bill was looking, had to check up, trying to not hit Nicole, and ended up bouncing off the wall into Jeff Hinkle. Bill Percy not having the same luck tonight as all the leaders are now coming to pit road. Brian Oshinska, all the cars 1 or more laps down will stay out. Brian Oshinska stays out. He gets the wave around. AJ Godsey is now in position to get the wave around here. And let's see if we can talk to him. Hey, AJ, it's Doug. You got me?
I got you, Doug.
Hey, how you feeling about your strategy right about now?
Yeah, I didn't need the caution, but let's see. I'm sure we got a hot ride. I'll be able to get back up there hopefully by the end of this thing. Still got a little ways to go.
You and Jeremy seem to be pretty evenly matched the first part of this race, but it looked like your tires might have gone away. Did you push too hard early on that first run?
Yeah, I melted the right rear off of it. It was getting to where I couldn't get in the throttle coming out of the corner, so that kind of forced me into coming in and getting tires and trying something different.
It did look like you were dirt tracking out there a few times.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the right rear fender might be beat in a little bit.
Let me take a quick look. I did not see any significant damage. Yeah, it's got a little bump in, but nothing real bad. Shouldn't be affecting you too much.
No, it was only 1.2 seconds of optional, so just a little scrapes.
All right, man. Good luck, and hopefully this strategy ends up working out for you.
All right, thanks, Doug.
All right, AJ Godsey currently he is going to be waved around, currently being scored in 19th place. He'll be on some of the oldest tires out there. Hinkle is back out off pit road. Bill Percy out off pit road after repairs. And it looks like Brian Oshinska is going to come back out and maintain the lead lap after being the lucky dog. And we'll restart right in front of AJ Godsey, or right beside him anyway. There you see AJ getting his wave around as they line up, get ready to go green. It's Jeremy Root and Greg McDaniel on the front row. Matt Bear, Harley Barlett on the second row. James Harris, Kevin Reed on the third row. Then Jared Heasley, Eric Stoy, Gerald Poole, and Brandon Springer round out your top 10. Scott Snodgrass and Jason Rome 11th and 12th. Pace car is about to drop off. Everybody's on 4 fresh tires. Everybody's got the necessary repairs. Everybody's ready to go send it again. Jeremy Root fires first. Green flag in the air as they start lap number 50. Greg McDaniel in second. Harley Barletta now up to third. Matt Bear in fourth. He is pushing it. James Harris battling Kevin Reed currently for fifth. Kevin way up by the wall. Now will there be any problems out of turn 4? Cold tires do make these cars very difficult to handle coming up off turn 4 until they get some grip. And as you heard from AJ, things can get very problematic very quickly. Speaking of AJ Godsey, he restarted in 19th. He's picked up to 18th, and he is sending it down to the apron, trying to catch Larry Ashby in 17th. Larry also had a good run in the trucks last night. It'll be interesting. AJ really sending it. He's not worried about those tires on this run. Jeremy Root starting to open up a lead, half a second over Greg McDaniel. Harley Barletta in third as Matt Bear all over the back bumper. Matt way down low looking for a run off turn 4. Can't get enough yet. And they both might want to worry. Kevin Reed right behind him in 5th place. James Harris has lost a couple of spots since the restart. He's now back to 6th. Brandon Springer currently running in 7th. Eric Stoy is 8th. Jared Heasley is 9th. Gerald Poole is 10th. And Scotty Too Hotty in 11th. As it gets a little dicey off into 1. Scott really sends it into turn 1. Just trying to get the nose to the outside and block Gerald's run off the turn. Can he get enough momentum? And he holds on to 11th, but this is quite a battle here. Jared Heasley in 9th, Gerald Poole in 10th, Scott Snodgrass in 11th. And Jason Rome is lurking in 12th place. We've heard him in interviews recently talk about how he is trying to be more patient, trying to be a little bit smarter about how he drives. It is really, really shown in the points, on the track. Everything he is doing seems to be working out really well as Scott gets another run up off of 2, but Gerald cuts the infield. And into turn 3, Scott's got the high line. Will he be able to get a nose ahead off of turn 4? They almost touch in the middle. Scott gets a run off 4. He's going to clear Gerald Poole, put Scott up to 10th. Little bobble through 1 and 2. You can tell Scott is really sending that. AJ Godsey up to 16th now. He's gotten past Larry Ashby and Jody Ogden. After a bad luck on the strategy and a ill-timed caution. Harley Barletta now up to 3rd. Matt Bear in 4th. Kevin Reed is battling James Harris for 5th. Oh, this gets really close. Down through 3 and 4, Kevin Reed gets the lead here. Although, if I was Kevin, I'd be worried about, the whole Cobra Kai thing right behind him. Just saying. James Harris already looking for the pass down the back straightaway. You notice the vast majority of these guys are running up high. They're not cutting the infield unless they need it to make a pass. Jeremy Root out front, now 1.5 second lead. Let's see if Jeremy is still cutting the infield. Cutting the infield massively unsettles the car and increases the tire wear. That's why you see a lot of the guys cutting it for passing, not doing anything though if they're out front alone. Harley Barletta in 3rd is now gaining on Greg McDaniel. Let's see if we can get a look at the track from the chopper. Look through the field a little bit, see where your favorite drivers are running. Bill Percy after that hard caution. Oh no, it is Scott Snodgrass this time. Scott and Gerald get together in the middle of the turn. I think there might have been a little bit of net code there. Let's take a look. I didn't think they were close enough. They both sent it in there. I think there was a bit of net code just based on the way Scott's car snapped around. Let's take one more look. They were awfully close, but that was a weird... Yeah, there was a little bit of net code. I think they both might have saved it had it not been for that net code a little bit hard into the right rear. Now, how many of them come to pit road? They were all on pit road just 16 laps ago, and it looks like Harley Barletta's coming to pit road. Matt Bear, Jared Heasley, Jason Rome, AJ Godsey, Mark Dantuma. Larry Ashby's coming. Brian Oshinska is coming. I would bet that Scott and Gerald both come. No. Taking a look at Scott's car, he's got some significant damage on the back, but we'll see if he comes to pit road to get repaired here. Let's see if we can talk to the wrestler in the group. Hey, Bo Ross, this is Doug. You got me?
Yes, sir.
Hey, man. I know you are sore and hurting like crazy out there, but you are running 8th. You got to be happy about that.
Oh, definitely happy about that. Just hoping I can keep this together a little bit longer. This is actually going a lot smoother than I thought it would.
Well, I'm glad to see you're still in it now. I know you were talking about parking it, but I know you're not going to park it when you're running in the top 10.
No, definitely not, especially after last night with that match. I learned you don't just back down from anything, so.
Well, congratulations on the win. Hopefully you pull off another one here tonight, bud.
That's the goal. Let's get her in victory lane.
All right, good luck, man.
Thank you.
All right. And he currently, as mentioned, is running in 8th. Richie West now, Bo Ross now, a.k.a. Thomas Myers, now in 7th. Richie West now up to 8th. Jody Ogden up to 9th. Scott Snodgrass does not come to pit road. He is currently in 10th. I believe Gerald Poole did come to pit road. He is back to 20th. Whereas AJ Godsey currently in 17th and back on cycle with a lot of the drivers. As the leaders come across, they should get one to green. Yes, they do. So it is Jeremy Root and Greg McDaniel on the front row, James Harris, Kevin Reed on the second row, Brandon Springer, Eric Stoy on the third row. Bo Ross, Jody Ogden on the fourth row. No, it looks like Bo Ross and Richie West, then Jody Ogden and Scott Snodgrass. We'll see if Scott can make that car work with the damage on the back bumper. Although I have seen him drive worse to get further up, so it's Scott. There's no telling what could happen. He is definitely warming the tires up, getting ready. And now Jody Ogden, who started back in 21st, is in the top 10. He might be the spoiler here tonight. Pace car is in. And Jeremy Root down and away. Green flag is in the air. And here comes James Harris to the inside for trying to challenge for second. Greg McDaniel gets clear. Kevin Reed might clear him for third. James Harris fighting back on the bottom though. Brandon Springer back there in fourth place. He is on the older set of tires. The first guys, the top 9 cars stopped on lap 46. Harley Barletta is the first car on fresh tires from this pit stop. And he is beginning his march toward the front. Let's see who's next. AJ Godsey restarted in 17th. He is a man on a mission. He's up to 11th. AJ Godsey went in under that caution. Oh my gosh, he got loose off turn 4, kept it going the right way, and keeps marching forward. He talked about burning the right rear off on that first run. It looks like he might do it again on this run, but he's coming back to the front, and he's going to follow Harley Barletta. Harley Barletta is weaving through this traffic. He is now to the inside of Bo Ross. Down the front straightaway, Harley Barletta goes. And Kevin Reed gets the wall right in front of him. Manages to hold on it. Harley clears traffic. Brandon Springer gets by Kevin Reed. Kevin drops back into 5th. And here comes Harley on a mission. AJ Godsey now is right behind him. They are 6th and 7th. This might be a wild ride this lap. Harley managed to hold a pretty line through 1 and 2. All over the back bumper. Doesn't drop down to the apron. He's going to play it safe here for a few laps. AJ Godsey isn't. AJ Godsey down to the bottom. He is going for 6th and looking for 5th on Kevin Reed out of turn 4. AJ is sending it. Brandon Springer better get some more peanut butter on those tires. Get a little bit more grip because here comes AJ to the inside for 4th. Jeremy Root in the lead, just over 3 seconds ahead of AJ. AJ in fourth, still has to get past James Harris and Greg McDaniel. Another car on new tires coming back into contention. Jared Heasley currently in 10th, running down Eric Stoy. Jason Rome in 11th. He is right there with them. Mark Dantuma also on fresh tires in 12th. Jeremy Root did not stop under that caution. He has got 2 seconds over Greg McDaniel. AJ Godsey to the inside through 3 and 4. He is going to take third. James Harris not giving up without a fight. If Jeremy Root is watching his relative right now, and I'm sure he is watching these positions closely, he knows AJ Godsey is closing in on him. Starting lap 75. Let's see what the gap is. 2.55 seconds from AJ to Jeremy Root. Harley Barletta cutting through to fourth, excuse me. 2.5 seconds is the distance AJ has to close. Only gained about a 1/10 of a second on that lap, but he's probably going to start making up a lot. He picks up a ton of speed through 1 and 2. And Harley Barletta is coming with him. Harley passed Greg Daniel for third. Greg McDaniel, excuse me. James Harris right there looking to get around Greg McDaniel for fourth, trying to follow Harley Barletta forward. James on the older tires. Jeremy Root's lead now down to 2 seconds. AJ Godsey is definitely coming, and I guarantee you when Jeremy pits, AJ is going to pit at the same time, be on fresh tires, and see if he can do something with him. Plus, if this stays green, the fuel does become a question mark. Harley Barletta in third, trying to catch back up. Greg McDaniel fourth. James Harris in fifth. Brandon Springer in sixth. Kevin Reed in seventh. Here comes another set of fresh tires. Jared Heasley now up to eighth. Bo Ross in ninth. Eric Stoy in 10th. Jason Rome in 11th as Jody Ogden all over the back bumper. Mark Dantuma, another car on fresh tires, up to 13th, catching up to Jody. Gerald Poole now up to 14th. He restarted back around. Caution! Oh! Gerald Poole wrecked. I don't know who all got caught in that one. It looks like Bo Ross and Gerald Poole get collected. Gerald, I think, had to use his repair already. He might be in trouble. Oh, and Bo Ross just gets loose off of turn number 4. Several cars. Brian Oshinska gets caught in it. What a heartbreak after having such a great start to this, and a heartbreak for Gerald Poole, who had been in the top 5 or in the top 10 until that first incident, now gets caught in 2 in a row. This is perfect for Jeremy Root, as it was closing in on a time he would have to stop for fuel. What does AJ Godsey do? AJ's going to stay out. Jeremy Root on pit road. Harley Barletta stays out. Then everybody else comes. Greg McDaniel, James Harris, Brandon Springer, Kevin Reed, Jared Heasley is staying out. Eric Stoy on pit road. Jason Rome, literally everybody else coming to pit road. And Bo Ross's car is hurt. He has not had to use his repair yet. He'll still have an opportunity to get back out. And Nicole, that's what she said, Creasel is getting waved around. She should be back on the lead lap. Hey Harley, it's Doug. You got me?
Yeah, I got you, man. What's up?
Hey, how you feeling about the strategy right now with all of these guys behind you coming to pit road?
Well, I mean, we had thought about pitting there, but we're also on a strategy that we haven't tried before because every time we don't try it, we end up getting screwed. So we decided to try it this time, and it seems to be working. That caution was a little unfortunate, but hopefully we can keep in the top 10 here and then get to pit road.
Well, you know, it's going to be close as far as fuel goes and everything else. Are you going to be trying to conserve fuel at all, or are you just going for it?
No, we're going to stretch this a little bit, then we're going to pit, and then we should be good from there.
All right, man. Well, good luck, and hopefully your strategy pays off here.
Thanks, man.
All right, Harley Barletta, AJ Gotze, both currently 1 and 2. Jared Heasley on old tires, also in 3. Jeremy Root, the leader coming into pit road, now back in 3rd, but he has much fresher tires than the cars in front of him. 20 lap fresher tires. AJ, Harley, and Jared are about to have their hands very, very, very full. All right, they get the 1 to green. AJ Gotze and Harley Barletta on the front row. Jeremy Root on fresh tires next to Jared Heasley on older tires. Then everybody back behind them has fresh tires. James Harrison 5th, Greg McDaniel in 6th, Kevin Reed 7th, Eric Stoy 8th, Larry Ashby up in the top 10 for the first time tonight in 9th, and Jason Rome in 10th. Also, his first time. He's been knocking on the door of the top 10 all night. Look for him to start marching his way forward. Eric Wolf cheering on Harley Barletta here tonight. Pace car is in. AJ Gotze fires away. Green flag in the air. Caught Harley Barletta napping just a little bit there. Jeremy Root to the inside for 2nd. Harley said his goal was to hold on to the top 10 and make sure the strategy plays out correctly. AJ Gotze gets a bit of a jump, but Jeremy Root on a mission and on fresh tires. Harley Barletta about to be under attack by James Harris, also on fresh tires. James Harris now to the bottom in 1 and 2, gets by Harley. Greg McDaniel's got a run as well. AJ Gotze managing to hold on to the lead for a moment. But Jeremy Root is closing in on him. Greg McDaniel now to the inside, hasn't been able to complete the pass on Harley yet. Looks to the inside through 1 and 2. Looks like Harley changed his lineup a little bit for the older tires, and at least for the moment, it is working. But AJ Gotze is in trouble. Here comes Jeremy Root right up to the back bumper, looking to the inside in 3 and 4. Down the front straightaway they go. Jeremy Root having the advantage off into turn 1. And Jeremy Root back to the lead. AJ Gotze in 2nd, but here comes James Harris. Harley Barletta in fourth is still holding Greg McDaniel off. 20 lap older tires and they just can't get around him. Greg McDaniel now finally gets the run through 1 and 2. Can he carry enough momentum off? He can't. A wiggle out of Harley. Eric Stoyer right there. They almost touch coming through the kink on the backstretch. And now Kevin Reed looking to the outside. Harley Barletta has got to get himself slid down into position, into line quickly, or he's going to lose even more positions. AJ Godsey is now back to third. James Harris has finally cleared him. And look, here comes another car on the march. Jason Rome now up to 8th. And he's actually trying to make the pass on the high side on Harley. And he makes that pass work. That was a great pass by Jason Rome on the high side. Jody Ogden's going to follow him through. Harley making something happen down on the apron, though. And here comes Matt Baer, currently in 11th. Scotty Too Hottie in 12th. Oh, they're going to try 3 wide. No, Scott backs out of it. Wise move on Scott's part. Down the front. Through 1 and 2, Matt Baer clears Mark Dantuma, and now Scott Snodgrass up to 11th place. Matt Baer now in the top 10. Harley Barletta for the moment holding on to 9th. Jeremy Root is starting to open up a lead. He's got 1 second over James Harris. But their lap times are within hundredths of a second of each other right now. AJ Godsey in third on those older tires is losing ground. Greg McDaniel in fourth appears to be gaining a little bit of ground on AJ now. Kevin Reed back in fifth. Eric Stoy up into sixth. Jason Rome in seventh drives into one a little too hot. Jody Ogden currently running in 8th place, staying with him. Matt Baer is now up to 9th. He has gotten past Harley Barletta. Harley back to 10th. And Scott Snodgrass right on the back bumper. Larry Ashby restarted in 10th. He has drifted back to about 18th, but he started the race in 22nd. Brian Oshinska up to 17th. Richie West, currently last week's winner, currently in 16th. Bill Percy in 15th after that incident earlier in the race. Oh, Bill gets way loose out of 4. Manages to save the car, but Richie West slips by on the bottom. And back up front, Jeremy Root still out front, 1.5 second lead, 1.4 second lead over James Harris. Greg McDaniel in third, 2 seconds back from him. AJ Godsey doing an amazing job holding on to it with the older tires. He is in fourth. Kevin Reed in fifth, though, is gaining on him. Eric Stoy holding on to 6th, just trying to stay in the top 5 in points and get to the next track here tonight. Jason Rome in 7th place, having a great run. Jason currently 4th in points coming into this week. He has had consistency, extreme consistency lately. Massive improvement over his last season in BRR, where it was feast or famine every race, but this season consistency and putting himself in position, he'll have a win before too much longer. Jeremy Root continuing to lead, 1.4 second lead. James Harris still in second. Jody Ogden currently in 9th place, biggest mover of the race so far. He started in 21st. His race ended early last night due to an incident on the front straightaway. We've seen so many people save it here tonight in the Cup cars, but in the trucks it was a bit harder. A couple of guys had a couple of different issues on the front straightaway. Coming out of turn 4, like we saw Bill Percy a couple of laps ago, just lose the back end completely. Harley Barletta currently still holding on to 10th. Scott has not been able to get back to the back bumper. Mark Dantuma in 11th. Mark was on a similar strategy to the other cars, Harley Barletta and AJ Godsey. It looks like he pitted on the last stop, so he is on fresher tires as well. Looks like the only cars out there on old tires right now are Jared Heasley, who is currently running in 12th, Harley Barletta in 10th, and AJ Godsey currently in 4th. 26 laps to go. These three guys will have to pit soon. It's questionable on the guys that pitted on lap 82. It's questionable if they can make it to the end of the race on their fuel load. These guys know they're going to have to pit. As long as this thing stays green, they might be in the best position. They'll have 4 fresh tires, plenty of fuel, and strategy might fall their way. Jeremy Root starting to lap cars again. Just got around Nicole Creasel. Oh, Nicole scraped the wall just a little bit there, coming through 3 and 4. James Harris in 2nd place now, 3 seconds behind Jeremy Root. Greg McDaniel actually closing in on him now. That gap is down to 1 second. Looks like James Harris might have pushed a little too hard early in the run because his tires are starting to fall off. Worth noting that after this race, the Fast and Fun ARCA Series takes to USA, and James Harris will try and go 4 for 4 in points races this season. AJ still holding on to 4th. Here comes Kevin Reed and Eric Stoy, but they have not been able to pick up very much ground. Matt Bear back there in 7th. 23 laps to go. Jeff Hinkle has been to pit road. Jeff Hinkle will now be on 4 fresh tires and fuel. Now, how long do AJ and Harley wait before they go to pit road? Harley Barletta currently running in 10th. AJ Godsey running in 4th. Once they come to pit road, they will have 4 fresh tires and be substantially faster. The difference in times right now, Jeremy Root, who pitted on lap 82. His fastest lap, a 26.55. He's currently running 27.75. So 1.2 seconds in fall off on those tires. Think about how much faster AJ Godsey is going to be. And he is only a quarter second a lap slower right now on 20 lap older tires. Matt Bear has closed back up on Eric Stoy, Kevin Reed, and AJ Godsey. Although he did say before the race that first 30 laps on a set of fresh tires, he'll come flying, but after that, he has a tendency to burn them up. We'll see if that truly plays out. We've seen him in Xcal run a lot longer than that on old tires. We'll see. Oh, he gets a little loose out of turn 4. He had a run on Eric Stoy there for a moment, but loses the back end just a little bit out of turn 4. "19 laps to go for Jeremy Root. The fuel question is in the air. The tire question for guys like AJ Godsey, Harley Barletta, will they stop and take 2 tires? Will they take 4? They have to stop for fuel. Some of these drivers might have been on a fuel-saving run as well. And here comes Greg McDaniel. He has started losing ground on James Harris in second. AJ currently 2.1 seconds back from Greg McDaniel, and believe it or not, Greg on 20 lap fresher tires, AJ is gaining a couple hundredths of a second a lap. Kevin Reed has gotten past. He is now up to 5th. Here comes Matt Baer for 6th on the inside of Eric Stoy. Side by side, Matt Baer got a little loose last time he tried to get around Eric, but he got off turn 4 perfectly that time. Gets the run down through 1 and 2. And this is exactly what Jason Rome wants to see in front of him. He needs an opportunity to catch up here. Matt Baer cut the infield, cut the dog leg down to the bottom. Move Matt Baer up to 6th, Eric Stoy back to 7th. 15 to go, Jeremy Root, his lead now almost 5 seconds. There goes Jeff Hinkle on 4 fresh tires. Richie West is on pit road. Jeff Hinkle is a couple of laps down, not in contention. He was laps down before he came to pit road, but you can see the difference in speed. Only one driver out of the race. After that hard hit, his second one, Gerald Thanos Poole, is out of contention. He is off the track. Too much damage to continue. AJ Godsey knows he has to stop again. Harley Barletta knows he has to stop again as well. But with 13 laps to go, are they waiting too long to make this final stop, hoping for a caution? And Matt Baer is on the move. Looking to the inside on Kevin Reed for 5th. Doesn't have enough coming out of turn 4. Kevin Reed pulls ahead just a little bit. Now Matt Baer back to the bottom. Matt Baer cutting through the dogleg, trying to get the advantage over Kevin Reed. They'll go side by side into turn 3. Matt Baer has the nose ahead. Kevin Reed has the advantage on the high line, can get back on throttle sooner. Caution! This changes all the strategy, all the moves, everything that was going. And it looks like Bill Percy is involved. Let's see if we can see what happened. Looks like he might have hit the wall hard out of turn 2. Something dramatic happened to that car. He hits the wall through 1 and 2, gets sideways, and clips the leader. He clipped Jeremy Root. Not what Jeremy Root wanted to see at all, exactly what AJ Godsey and Harley Barletta needed. See if we can get a look at the right side of Jeremy's car, see how much damage he has. Looks like the right front fender is pushed in, the right rear is really bent up. Onto pit road come all the lead lap cars. Now it's gonna be less than 10 laps to go when they go green. It'll be close to 5 to go when the green flag drops. And you've got to feel for Jeremy Root just getting caught up in that. Have an amazing race. He has got the car fixed. This is going to be a race. Oh, AJ Godsey missed his pit stall. He overshot his pit stall. He's going to lose a ton of ground here. And Matt Bear is going to be the first one off pit road. Then Jeremy Root. Then James Harris. All right. Hey, Matt, it's Doug. You got me?
Yeah, brother, I got a copy.
Hey, buddy. What a pit stop, man. I have to ask, it looks like, did you just take right sides on this one?
Hell yeah.
Well, you have been sending it all night. You now going to restart in first. Are you going to be able to hold everybody off behind you?
I have no clue, but I'm going to give it my damnedest. I can guarantee you that.
All right, man. Well, good luck, and hopefully things will fall your way here.
Thank you, brother.
All right, Matt Bear sounds very excited right now. Jeremy Root restarting on the outside. James Harris will be third. Greg McDaniel fourth. Scott Snodgrass has continued to recover. He's finally repaired that car, currently running in fifth. AJ Godsey, after missing his pit stall, will have to restart in sixth. Jason Rome back in contention in seventh. Eric Stoy in eighth. Jody Ogden ninth. Jared Heasley in 10th. Harley Barletta back in 11th, just outside of the top 10. Scott, where he is positioned right now, as they run, Scott would actually extend his points lead right now. We'll have to see how things play out, but Scott had a 3-point lead over Richie West and Harley Barletta, both of whom are several spots behind. Good points night, good recovery for Scott. As they come around and get ready, they get the 1 to go. Going to be about 5 to go at the line. 6 to go, excuse me, at the line. Mark Dantuma currently running in 13th. He's been steadily making his way forward after starting in 20th. Hoping for a little bit of luck here tonight. He had an amazing run and won the truck race here last night. Can he pull something off here late in the race? Pace car is in and Matt Bear is down and away. Jeremy Root just got caught napping. James Harris, everybody gets caught napping. Jeremy Root drops down to the bottom to try and block Matt Harris. Oh my gosh, Greg McDaniels gets too deep into 1 and 2. Here comes AJ Godsey. Here comes Scott Snodgrass. It is chaos at the front. Harley Barletta picks up a couple of spots, now up to 9th, marching his way forward. AJ Godsey trying to make his way forward. Nicole Creasel has crashed with Jeff Hinkle. No caution yet. 5 laps to go. Matt Bear is loving. Oh, we've got a hard wreck in the kink. Caution is out. It looks like Jeremy Root involved. Oh, Jeremy Root came down, didn't know James Harris was there, slams into the wall. James Harris caught even worse than that, as a couple of cars came by and ended up smacking into him. And one of them was Brandon Springer, gets the side of him. James Harris has been running in the top 5 all night. as has Jeremy Root. Both of them are going to be way back. Both should have their fast repairs and be in the perfect position. Hey, Greg, it's Doug. You got me?
Yeah, go ahead, Doug.
Hey, it looks like this may come down to a green-white checkered, and you've got 4 tires and he's got 2.
Yeah, he got a good jump last time, though, so I don't know how old those 2 old tires are, but I think being on the outside here with 4 to his 2, I might have a chance.
Well, you definitely have had a great run, been consistent, been up there all night, so let's hope you can get that car into victory lane tonight, buddy.
I hope so, too. My last races have been kind of rough. I'd like to at least finish this one.
I think you're going to do that, man. Good luck, bud.
Thank you, Doug.
All right, Greg McDaniel restarting on the outside. 4 fresh tires. Matt Bear will restart on the inside, only right side tires. And look who has creeped his way up to 3rd. There is AJ Gotze. You know he's got 4 fresh tires. There is Scott Snodgrass up to 4th, and Jason Rome in 5th. Harley Barletta has made his way to 6th. Jody Ogden in 7th. Eric Stoy is 8th. Look who came through everything and picked up a ton of spots as well. Mark Dantuma back into the top 10. He is currently running in 9th. Jared Heasley currently running in 10th. Kevin Reed 11th. Brian Oshinska in 12th. Let's really quickly see if we can get a look. Nicole Kriesel, it looked like Nicole and Jeff Hinkle got together. Oh, Nicole was in the middle. Jeff drifted up, and they got together. They got rolling enough to, or they got off track quickly enough to not draw the caution. And then we had that incident happen before James Harris and Jeremy Root got together. James Harris appears he might be done. Jeremy Root may be done for the night. And we are going to have a green-white checkered, so sit down, strap in, hold on tight. This is about to get wild. Any one of these top 5, heck, any one of these top 10 might be able to pull this one off. It's going to be close. And you know Greg McDaniel is going to be watching this restart very, very carefully. He is going to watch Matt Bear closely. AJ and Scott are going to be watching both of those cars in front of them. Harley right there. Jason right there. This is still, anybody in the top 10 still probably has an opportunity here, because anything can happen on a green-white checkered, especially here where you're going to see guys cut through that infield on the back straightaway, probably right by the infield wall. They're going to be cutting every inch of this track, doing anything they can here as we get ready to go green. Take a deep breath, folks. Pace car is in. Matt Bear drops and gone. Everybody behind him, man, is not caught sleeping this time. Off into turn number 1. Matt Bear still ahead, but here comes AJ and Greg. Greg looking on the high side. Greg's got a run on the high side. Matt Bear cutting across the dogleg, trying to get an advantage here. Greg's got the nose in on the outside. Oh, but Matt Bear, man. Matt Bear gets way loose off turn 4. AJ gets loose off turn 4. White flag is in the air. Greg McDaniel starts to look to the inside. Matt Bear blocks the run. Here comes AJ looking even lower. Now it's AJ Gotze on the bottom. It's going to be a drag race to the finish line. Matt Bear leads going into turn 3. AJ and Greg McDaniel side by side. AJ, AJ gets loose, they touch. And it is Matt Bear for the win. Greg McDaniel in second. AJ Gotze comes home third. Scott manages to come home fourth. And I do believe he picks up a few points on Harley Barletta tonight. Harley finishing in fifth. Jason Rome is 6th. Jody Ogden is 7th. Mark Dantuma in 8th. Jody Ogden started in 21st. Mark started in 20th. Both of them had some great moves. Harley Barletta comes from 16th up to 5th. What a race. As here goes Matt Bear celebrating. Let's see if we can get a word with third place. Hey, AJ, it's Doug. You got me?
Yeah, I got you, Doug.
Hey, that was a heck of a green-white checkers, man.
Yeah, I knew the gloves were going to come off there on them 2 laps, and I'm surprised them 2 tires paid off like that. He was definitely holding his own on them.
Yeah, he definitely was. And I got to say, coming to the white flag out of 4, how much did that getting on the gas there remind you of getting on the gas in a dirt car? Because that car was way out of shape.
I was that way most of the race, Doug. It was kind of, I was prepared for it.
Well, yeah, you were definitely that way most of the race. Well, congratulations, man. That was one heck of a run.
Thanks, Doug.
All right, let's see if we can get a word with second place. Hey, Greg, it's Doug. You got me?
Yeah, I got you, Dougie.
Hey, man, out of 4, coming to the white flag, I thought for sure you had him.
I guess the 2 tire. I don't know. I'll be interested to know how old his tires were. But yeah, I was on the outside of him, and I thought both of those last 2 laps, when I got to the outside of him, that he wouldn't be able to hold it down there, and he did. So he made the right call on pit road. So congratulations to him, and he ran me clean, and that's how this league should race every week. That was awesome racing.
Well, you definitely put on a heck of a show tonight, man. Congratulations. What a great run. I'm sure we're going to be talking to you in victory lane before long.
I'd like to get that first one, so I hope so. Thanks for chatting with me, Doug.
My pleasure. All right, let's see if we can get a word with the winner. Matt, I guess 2 tires did pay off.
Hey, man. I don't know. I definitely wasn't the fastest car all night. That was for sure. The 5 and a couple other guys were definitely a little quicker than me, but I was fastest when it mattered.
That is all that matters. And, man, you were holding them off. Even those guys behind you said, man, they didn't know how the 2 tires, you made them work so well, but you held everybody off. A couple of different attacks on you, especially coming to the white flag, but you just managed to keep the nose ahead.
Yeah, man, that was some really good racing right there. I appreciate them keeping it clean. I was driving as hard as I could, but I was like, man, I'm not going to drive them up the track. I'm not going to do them dirty. If they drove it as good as I have, if not better, they've earned it just as much. So we're going to race it clean to the end. And they was lucky they got that caution, because I checked out on that first green light checkered. I was gone right there.
You definitely were, man. And they could not have caught back up to you, I don't believe. Congratulations, your first BRR win, man. Go celebrate, buddy.
Appreciate it, man. Yeah, it's pretty fun. Show up, get one win first try. Try to come back next week, do it again.
All right, man. Good luck. We'll talk to you next week.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it.
All right, Matt Bear, first race in BRR, gets his first win, and I am sure some of the points will shake up just a little bit, but Scott Snodgrass comes home 4th and will extend his points lead just a little bit over Harley Barletta. Now, stick around. A lot of these same drivers are putting these cars up, headed to Florida. They are going to unload their ARCA cars at USA International Raceway here in just a moment. Stick around. We'll be right back with you.